Okay, dear students, in this section, this mathematical problem, I think, have been left section. We have these two rules. We have these two rules: amount of heat absorbed or released regarding to enthalpy of vaporization or condensation, and amount of heat absorbed or released regarding to enthalpy of fusion, which means melting or freezing. These two mathematical rules, they are used to solving mathematical problem. For example, sample problem 5.1. It says how much energy is absorbed when 47 gram of ice melts at STP. Then how much energy is absorbed when this same mass of water boils? First of all, in mathematical problem, first you have to indicate the process, either fusion, which means melting, or freezing, or condensation, vaporization. Here, first process, how much energy is absorbed when 47 gram of ice melts, which means this is the process of melting and freezing. And we need to use this rule, the second rule, because the second rule is related to the fusion and freezing. Then, for solving this part of question, solution, write down the rule. The rule says that amount of heat absorbed or released equal to enthalpy of fusion, which means melting or freezing. Because why it's written fusion or freezing? Because these two processes, as always, they are always together at equilibrium, fusion and freezing. Condensation and evaporation, they are together at equilibrium. So that's why it's written fusion, which means melting or freezing. Times number of mole of water. Then we need to use the values. Amount of heat absorbed or released is the question. How much energy is absorbed? It says absorbed, so that this part is the question. Equal to enthalpy of fusion, which means melting or freezing. This value is constant. You have to memorize. Always enthalpy of fusion or enthalpy of freezing equal to 6.009 times. Here it's written mole of water, because according to the rule of mole equal to mass over molar mass. And here instead of mole, I use the rule of what? Of mole. Mass is given 47 over molar mass of water is 18, because water consists of 2 hydrogen. Each hydrogen is 1, and 1 oxygen. 1 oxygen is equal to 16, so that the molar mass of water equal to 18. Mass is given is 47, so that 47, which is mass, over 18, which is molar mass of water, equal to what? The mole of water. So that instead of what mole of water, we use the rule of mole, which is mass over molar mass. Then amount of heat absorbed or released equal to this amount, 6.009 times 47 divided by 18 equal to this amount. This is the first part of the sample problem 5.1. Second part, how much energy is absorbed when the same mass of liquid boiled? When it says the same mass, it means use the same amount of water to find the mole. Then how much energy is absorbed when this same mass of liquid boils? Boils means evaporation. So that, we said that at the beginning you have to indicate the process. The first part is related with the melting, so that we use the second rule. The second part of the question, it says liquid water boils, so that we need to use the first rule, because the first rule is related with the vaporization or condensation, because boiling is a form of vaporization. So that we use this rule: amount of heat absorbed equal to enthalpy of vaporization or condensation times mole of water. Then, yes, this is the rule for the second part of the question. Amount of heat absorbed or released equal to enthalpy of vaporization or condensation. Why we use this one? Because in the question says that when this amount of liquid water boils times mole of water. Again, amount of heat absorbed or released is the question equal to resemble to the enthalpy of fusion or freezing. We have the constant value of the enthalpy of vaporization or condensation equal to 40.79. Again, this amount should be memorized like this one, 6.009. It related to the molar enthalpy of fusion, and this one is related to the molar enthalpy of vaporization or condensation. Again, 6.009, 40.79, uh, they should be memorized. Times, it says that the same amount of water, which means that 47 grams. We need to convert this, the mass, to mole, and because the rule of mole equal to mass over molar mass, here we use the rule of mole. Mass equal to 47, because it says the same mass. Yes, 47. Divide by 18, it's molar mass of water. Mass over molar mass equal to the mole of water. Okay, now the last step, amount of heat absorbed or released equal to 40.79 times 47. Divide by 18 equal to this amount of heat, which is absorbed or released. But here, because it is boiled, so that the amount of heat absorbed, because we know that when water in liquid state changes vapor, it needs to absorb heat energy. So that this amount of energy, 106.5 kilojoule of heat absorbed. This is the sample problem. Practice. What quantity of energy is released when this amount gram of water freezes? Again, here we have freezing. We said that the first step, you have to indicate the process, either freezing, fusion, or condensation, vaporization. So as to use the molar enthalpy of fusion or molar enthalpy of condensation. Here, because it's freezing, uh, instead of molar enthalpy of fusion, you have to use 6.009. This question you have to solve by yourself, because it's the same as the sample problem part one. Same steps. Practice 2. What mass? This question is important. What mass of steam? When it says steam, it means water at gaseous state. It means vapor is required to release this amount of energy on condensation. Then here we have the process of condensation, and we have condensation and vaporization process, so that we need to use the first rule. Amount of heat, this is the solution. First step, you have to write down the rule. Amount of heat absorbed or released equal to enthalpy of vaporization or condensation. Why? Because in the question it says that condensation. The question indicates the process times mole of water. Students, here mass is the question is unknown. So that first step, we need to find the mole. Then, by the rule of mole, we can find mass, because mole equal to mass over molar mass. Molar mass is 18 of water. Uh, then we can find the mass. Okay, let's use the values. Amount of heat absorbed over heat is given 4.97 times 10 to the power 5 kilojoule equal to. We said that enthalpy of vaporization, it's constant, should be memorized 40.79. This is constant value times mole of water. Here we have to find the mole, then we have to convert mole to mass. Okay. Mole of water, because steam is water at gas state, we use mole of water, which means water at gas state, equal to this amount 4.97 times 10 to the power 5 divided by 40.79. Okay, mole equal to 12,184 mole of steam. Then convert mole to mass by the rule of mole. Mole equal to mass over molar mass. This is the amount of mole equal to mass is unknown is the question. Divide by molar mass of water. Again, steam is water at vapor at gas state. Again, the composition of steam is water, which means consists of 2 hydrogen and 1 oxygen. 2 hydrogen is 2, 1 oxygen is 16, equal to 18. So that mass equal to this amount of gram of steam. Then section, this is the end of the section. The section review questions, all the questions have been solved within the pamphlet. For example, what is water molecule is polar? We say that there are two reasons behind this polarity, and all the questions have been solved in this pamphlet. Thank you.